Hello everyone. Hope everybody are fine and are doing well. As we all know that from the past few months, the COVID-19 has hit our country a lot. It caused destruction. It took lives of many, especially the youths as well. Now, as I am in the teaching field, in the education sector also, COVID-19 has impacted very badly. Now, today I am going to discuss about this topic only, which is about the impact of COVID-19 on education. So, the topic which I am going to discuss is completely relevant on education. And yesterday, you might have heard the news that the central government cancelled even the plus 2 board exam. I know, concerning to the health of the students, the government has taken such step. I agree, it has got its own advantage, but it has got its own limitations too. But still, in general, how this COVID-19 has impacted on education, how it has impacted the lives of many children and many teachers, that we are going to see now. As per the UNESCO's survey, when the pandemic came, after a couple of months, when the lockdown happened and all the schools were shut across the world, and people shifted towards digital mode of learning, thanks to the technology that we have shifted from the traditional chalk and talk method to the digital mode of learning, right? But still, there was a survey which is been taken by the UNESCO, which says that even though more than 90% of the country they adopted digital or maybe broadcast remote learning policy, but still only 60 percentage of the country they did so for pre-primary education. So which means the pre-primary education for those children, it is very difficult task for the parents also to make them sit, and to make them learn towards digital sources. So only 60 percentage of the country has adopted this technique. And whatever the policy which has been taken by the government to ensure the learning happens continuously through on digital media or through TV broadcasting, but still it has reached only 69 percentage of school children at maximum, especially in primary to secondary education globally. So which means 69%, yeah, it is a good number, but still, out of 100%, only 69 means the remaining students think about them, what they would have learned so far. It has created a huge impact on the rest of the children. And 31 percentage of school children worldwide, that is nearly around 463 million students, cannot be reached by the broadcast and internet based remote learning policies, either because of the lack of necessary technological asserts at home or because they were not targeted by the adopted policies. So you can see the remaining students, which I am telling, that is the 31 percentage, you know, the figure says it is nearly 463 million worldwide. So 463 million students worldwide of all the category, whether it is the pre-primary category or secondary category or primary category, they are still not having the right technological tool where they can able to learn, where they can able to grab the education. So it is distressing to hear that. Few more things like online platforms were the most used means by the government to deliver education because of the safety protocols which we have to follow. Because in the traditional method, we cannot make the students to call in the school and to make them learn. So we adopted online platform, and through online platform only all kind of instructions, all kind of education we used to deliver. And nearly 83 percentage of countries they are using this method. It is a good news, but however, this allowed for potentially reaching only about a quarter of school children worldwide. Even though almost all the schools in the education, I mean, in all over the world, they have adopted this online teaching platform, but still in each and every school, only quarter of the school children they were able to adapt, or they were able to get adapt to this method. So which means nearly more than half of them are still not ready to learn through online. And to overcome this problem, since the technological tool, the main gadget which we use will be laptops or mobile phone, but television is the major source, right? Through TV we can reach to most of the students. So television had a great impact. Through television we provided education and it helped to reach the most of the students. Nearly 62% of the students were able to learn globally with the help of television, and only 16% of school children could be reached by radio based learning as well. So the people who are in remote area, okay, those who are not having any kind of facilities, where there is no network connectivity, where there is not even a broadcasting available, so for them also the government has taken steps, but through radio based learning only 60% of school children could be reached. And globally we can say, through these statistical figures we can say, 3 out of 4 students who cannot be reached by the remote learning policies, they come from either rural areas or they belong to the poorest household. Now, this is the statistics which has been observed by UNESCO worldwide. Now, let us talk about India. So, what is the uh, current status of India? How it impacted in the education currently? But before that, there are some recommendations which I can say so that we can build a strong base of learning. Now, since this pandemic, I don't know how long it's going to be, whether it is for the next couple of months or maybe a year, whatever it is, but still, till this pandemic gets over, till this pandemic's, it gets completely over, we have to follow this method of learning. Okay, we have to stick towards the digital way of learning. So, what are all the things we can do to provide an effective learning? So there should be restructuring in the way learning is distributed. I mean, we need to frame a pedagogy so which should help the students to evolve as per the requirement of online classes. So the students must not take the online classes as a difficulty. They should enjoy even while learning through online classes. And the tutors or the teachers should be given additional training to help them implement the new processes correctly. So at least now, in every school, the teachers know how to adapt for an effective learning through online, but still they need to learn so that they can equip with the Z generation students. They need to teach by using the effective tools and methods where the student can show interest towards learning. And the good news now is that the talented teachers who earlier were able to tutor selected batches and had their words etched in the print are now able to reach everyone across the world through EdTech platforms. And this should be completely capitalized on for every education. So previously, there used to be talented teachers in different schools, but their talent is not exposed to the other people. So they used to, confined in a particular zone. So they used to train only a group of students, but now they have got an opportunity. They can even reach out to the other students by showing their talents in a digital media through digital way. They can interact with the students live with the help of YouTube. They can launch their courses with the help of tech platforms. They can use. There are many free online sources or the online platforms which is available even in India, through which what they can do, they can even showcase their talents and they can even teach the students so that the students can able to get effective learning. And third thing which is recommended is, if you have an access to additional tools, I mean, it is not recommended if there is an economic crisis, but still, if you want to make it more effective, especially when it comes to online teaching, and if you want to bring the feeling that a student is not exactly learning at home, that he's actually in the class, and if you want to have a peer-to-peer learning, then there are a few more additional tools which you can implement. Like you can bring augmented reality feature, you can bring virtual reality feature, you can bring mixed reality feature. So all these things can be brought inside while you are teaching the online classes, so that you can show them virtually. Like for example, when you are teaching about the solar system, instead of simply telling what is there in the book, instead of simply screen sharing the book into the form of a PDF or something, what you can do is you can bring the virtual reality technique. There are various websites which is available where you can show the 3D model of them and you can explain. There are various augmented reality tools which is available. The AR, VR glasses, everything is available where the 3D model of each and everything can be shown and you can explain it. And not only that, even the academic structure and schooling should be made very flexible. Like, you know, you should be able to reach to almost all the students. You should not think that okay, only those students who have the facility for them alone we can teach. It should not be like that. We should encourage others also towards the learning. That should be our main motto in order to give effective education. And already in India, it is happening that we are providing the extracurricular activities as well. I mean, we are able to enhance the skill of the students as well, because NEP is already introduced in such motive only. But still, we must make sure, even though they are at home, they must be able to learn the essential skill. They must be able to grow holistically. And we know that every student is different. Some learn better in groups, and some would like to learn alone. Some are interpersonal, and some are intrapersonal. Some would like to learn during the daytime, and some would like to learn during the night time. And sometimes they used to love to read. They used to love to watch videos and learn. They used to love to. I mean, if they have auditory ability, they used to read aloud and learn. And some even they show their talent through acting it out, and then they learn. Now it is a time to work on these individual strengths where you create certain adaptive learning program where you can able to nurture the talent of each and every child. Even though you are teaching through an online platform, you are using Zoom, you are using Google Meet software or whatever it may be, but it should not be like a monotonous learning. Only the teacher speaks and a student just sits and listen to the class. That should not be there. It should be like a peer-to-peer interaction. It should be like a one-to-one interaction. We must try to build rapport in such a way with the students, and we should try to build lot of we should try to implement a lot of new techniques towards learning in such a way that a student must enjoy while learning. So that should be the motive of this. Now, how this online teaching helped us? So there are definitely the advantages we can see. So online teaching enabled us to increase opportunities for students to access higher education. Now you can see a lot of free online resources of learning is available. Students are able to learn certified courses through online. They are able to learn about programming languages. So there are various websites available, right? Like there are various online learning platforms available even through YouTube. They are able to learn a lot of programming language courses easily. So it has definitely provided them the opportunity to access higher education easily, and retention rates, they can able to remember everything easily. And not only that, it helped them to get good results. Now the usage of paper and all is reduced. The student can able to share their assignments, they can able to perform the assessments through online. So it has increased, definitely it has increased the retention rates. So these are certain advantages when it comes to online teaching platform. But despite of having the advantages, the education system has got some major impact as well, some limitations as well. Especially the grade 10 and 12 students, they are more worried. I know the government has taken a wise decision only by cancelling the exam, but still, you know, there are students, who feel that okay, if I would have written the exam, my marks would have come well, I would have performed better. So these things will run in their mind. And certain students who are really concerned, they would be worried about their future prospects as well. Like especially the plus two students, those who want, I mean, their career will begin afterwards when they join the college. So they will have a lot of questions in their mind. They will have a lot of dilemma in their mind. Even though the government has said, okay, they are not satisfied with the objective pattern of assessment which they are going to provide, the student has freedom to write the exam later when the situation improves, and then based on that he can get his mark list. But still, it's like a mental stress for them. So I will recommend only one thing to them: be cool. Now utilize the time to learn much through online platform. Utilize the time to enhance your effective skills. The more you develop your skills now, because you are free at home. Maybe for a couple of years, you'll be free. Okay, because in college it will not be too tough for you. You are just going to deep dive into the application oriented learning. So you give a boost of training from now itself. Okay, you learn it like a bridge course in order to develop your skill sets. That is very important. And then it has impacted the low income private and government schools also, since they have completely shut down because they don't have access to any e-learning. And it has disrupted the higher education also in critical determinant of a country's economic future. And there will be definitely a decline in the demand of international higher education as well, because since the academics are not going properly, this COVID-19 pandemic is there. A student cannot be able to travel to the other country now. They cannot go and have an easy access towards international higher education. So this has impacted a lot, and the rate of unemployment also will increase in future, because in higher education, since we cannot say that everything is going perfect. There are some ways for online teaching platform where student is able to learn better way, but on the other hand, a student is still not interested to go and learn something towards online learning if he finds the class very boring. So still there are a lot of disadvantages are there, and that may result to loss of, I mean, rate of unemployment as well. And everyone in the country could not afford gadgets. This is very important. So this is happening in India. And not only that, the recent survey suggests that 40% of middle class people have shifted to poor category, and now they cannot even afford to pay the school fees. So, which means those who are not paying the school fees, they are unable to have access towards online learning, or they don't even have the money to do recharges for their mobile, to have access to internet facility. So it has impacted in India, especially. And the salaries of teachers, it has been interrupted. Many are not getting salary at all, and in many schools they have stopped giving the salary. So that is also there, and because of that, many teachers have moved to some other job because they wanted to. They are the breadwinners of the family, and somehow they wanted to survive. So survival of the fittest. They have moved on to some other jobs, and that has again impacted the lack of teachers. And when there is a lack of good teachers, there will not be good quality education. Then students' study timing also has been distributed and deviated. In some schools, you know, at least they have limited the online class timing, because continuously teaching in online will also have a detrimental health impact on them. But there are certain schools, they start from morning 9 o'clock until evening 6 o'clock. They used to continuously have the classes, and definitely that's going to have a huge impact on the mental health of the students. It will increase the stress. It will increase the anxiety. It will make them to go into depression because of the longer screen time. especially for the students who are in higher classes, who are in 10th plus 2 or in colleges. For them, there will be most of the times the topics will be like monotonous learning. A teacher only will teach, and a student won't be able to interrupt in between or to have one-to-one learning, and that will definitely have an impact on their mental health. That has to be reduced. Maybe you can stick to one or two classes, one or two subjects in a day. That's more than enough, but we should not exceed more than that. And usage of mobile and laptop are not comfortable in all cases for students of all ages, especially the pre-primary students, the children. For them, this usage of mobile and laptop will definitely impact them, will definitely impact their health because they are the future of the country. So we should not make them, you know, full day. We should not give them the mobile and laptop so that it will have an impact on their health. And not only that, parents' attention towards children, it is also demanded in higher basis. So without the influence of the parents, the children won't be able to learn effectively. Now that is not possible in all the cases. The parents cannot be with the children all the time. So definitely we cannot determine whether the child is learning the online classes actually or whether he is skipping or playing some games. So definitely it is also a disadvantage when it comes to the online education. So as you can see that advancement of technology is good. We have online classes, something is going on, so we have not stopped the education. But still we should also make sure that when you provide the online education, we must make sure we reach out to all the students. And as a educator, as a teacher, we should also make sure that when you're trying to teach something, a topic, you don't need to teach more topics in a day. You can teach one or two topics, that's more than enough in a 40-minute class. But in a 40-minute class, you must make sure to plan out as effective as possible. You must be able to have one-to-one interaction with the students. It should be very lively. You should bring out some activities which can make the students, develop interest towards learning. That should be the main motto of every educator. So I hope as an educator, you guys would have got a knowledge of how we can able to provide the education effectively to the students. And till we meet next time, take care and have a good day. Thank you.